thank you guys for all the kind words. I am so thankful for all of you that are here, all of the voters. You're really the most important. Thank you for your support that you've given me for the past 2.5 years. Thank you to all my colleagues that came down, especially Jason Amos. He's our majority whip on the floor. He didn't tell you that, but he's our guy who counts. I can guarantee he's counting how many of you are here tonight. But I really appreciate that you guys have allowed me to be your voice for your values in Frankfurt for the last 2.5 years. So the events of last week, as you know, have been heavy for all of us, and it's been, I didn't know what I was going to say. Greg and I were in our little happy place in Tennessee for a couple of days, and just really, I really talked with Jesus, and he shows up. He's been really quiet, but what he said over and over was turning point. Charlie Kirk started Turning Point USA. Charlie Kirk made this decision to speak boldly, and he was assassinated. For what? Because he loved Jesus? Because he loved his family? Because he loved his country? Enough that he was fearless going to these campuses where they're indoctrinating our children with what's this hateful rhetoric. You see 58% of Gen Z think it's okay to do a political assassination if you disagree with somebody. We've got a problem with our young people. And he was changing that. And they weren't able to silence him. And it really wasn't, Charlie wasn't a politician. He was just a person who just wanted to spread his message. So what we really saw, it was not left versus right. It's evil versus good. We are in a spiritual warfare. So what just kept coming to me is turning point, turning point. And as I reflected on that, we've had some turning points. If you look at 2021, we all remember very well the overreach of government, the suppression that we had, particularly from our governor, that compelled many of us to get into politics. When we lost our constitutional rights, it propelled us. It was a turning point. In 2021, under leadership of Chet Hand, he reorganized the Boone County Republican Party. I don't know what it was before he got there. I think it was just a bunch of people hung out and didn't really do anything, but I can tell you what we do now. We have 189 elected precinct officers that are active, and they participate, and they're going to our school board meetings and our city council meetings, our library meetings, the election board. They're there. Many of them are here tonight. Many of these people you see at our senior picnics, you see them at parades, you see them at the school board. They're here, and that was underneath the turning point of 2021. And it has continued, and we are still the biggest and the strongest Republican Party in the Commonwealth. In 2022, we had another turning point. As my friend, former Senator John Schickel said, it was a historic night for elections in Boone County in 2022. You had 3 people who had no name recognition, had no money, had nothing, and yet Representative Steve Doan, at the time was Representative Steve Rollins, and myself, we defeated 3 incumbents who had been there a long time, and they were all sitting committee chairmen. That was historic. Also in that time was a turning point. Chet Hand got elected as county commissioner, defeated a long-term incumbent as well. So it was just a turning point of a new vision, a new view for what Boone County wanted to look like. So as we keep going, the turning points keep coming. So the turning points I've seen in Frankfurt, as Representative Nemus came, when I went down there, I was not well received. Leadership did not love me, and neither did many of my colleagues, and it was difficult, and I was silenced, and really wasn't treated very well. So I must say, Kim Banta was the kindest one to me, and she, my street mate down there, you know, I didn't know what she was thinking, but she was very kind to me and really helped, and has been a mentor in some ways, so I was thankful for that. But even in the time that I've been down there, the 2.5 years I've been there, we've gone from leadership working against me, some of them raising PAC money against me, to now you've got leadership here tonight that is supporting me and was here last year too, and I'm thankful for that, Representative. churches with that we're now working collaboratively, and I'm really excited about some of the things that we're doing. Working, well, I don't know, I'll get into that just a little bit, but I can also say that this session, now I only have 3 to compare from, but it also is the most conservative, arguably, on the ones that I've been. Did we leave a lot of things on the table? Yes, we did. Are there a lot of things to fix? Absolutely. But I would say arguably this is the most conservative session that we did this last session. And so I'm grateful for that. So it's a turning point. I even see it in Frankfurt. So what's my turning point? I've been doing a lot of reflection on that. So the death of Charlie Kirk has inspired me in some ways. I mean, all of us, we felt it when he was assassinated. We saw it. And all of us, we felt this visceral sadness or anger about what happened. And it changes you. Some of us maybe didn't meet him, but you know, and he changed a generation. And they may have taken out one, but thousands more are going to rise up. But we got to be a part of that. So for me, it's going to make my walk with Jesus a little bit tighter, a little bit brighter. Before I walk into the chambers, every day, before I go in the chambers, I'm praying many times with my colleagues for wisdom to help us make the right decisions, to do the right thing. There's a lot of votes that are not easy, and you got to take that stand. So one of the verses that often goes through, and this is one, He has shown you, O man, what is good. What does the Lord require of you? To do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. So that's my turning point. I'm going to do that a little bit louder in the sight of my enemies. So how does this impact my policies? You've heard of them tonight. There's 3 pillars that I'm really going down there to fight for. Life. Life begins at conception. Yeah. You may tell me, Proctor, we don't have abortion facilities in Kentucky. You're right, we don't. But we have chemical abortion pills flooding over our state's borders. We have more abortions now in Kentucky than we did before Roe versus Wade was overturned. So I'll be partnering with some of my colleagues to get rid of that scourge on our Commonwealth to save the life because it matters. And once they get here, we got to protect our children. I had no idea the amount of grooming that goes on in the Commonwealth. The stories I've heard have just been heartbreaking. And so I'm grateful. One, I got a family here tonight that I want to introduce to you. But this family has been, you don't make Mama Bear mad because she's relentless. And I'm so grateful for that. So in working with this family, and I'm so grateful for Boone County Sheriff's Office and the Commonwealth Attorney and our county attorney, all the work, the hours you guys have spent. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I'm going to introduce you tonight to a family that's their turning point. You may have heard on the news, it's been all over the news. I'm shocked on how our news and social media has gone across the Commonwealth, because ever since I started talking about this bill I'm going to introduce, my phone is still blowing up. This is not unique to Boone County. It's across the Commonwealth. But the turning point for this family is they've been through hell for 2 years. Their turning point is they're coming forward, and they're wanting you to be see the face of who these are, because you think, oh, grooming, that doesn't happen to people in Boone County. Yes, it does. It happened here in Boone County. So I want to introduce to you the Gordon family. So Nikki, Danny, and Abby, if you guys would come up. Sixth grade, school teacher, broke into the computer system, got this girl's locker combination, started leaving her gifts and notes. She's in 6th grade. This teacher had no contact with her, wasn't her teacher, just sought her out. Her family, I know them. I've served with Nikki in choir at the church and her mom and her vast family that's here tonight. This is a loving family. They work. They watch over their kids. They're involved. They are active in church. They're the American family. And yet this happened. They had no idea. We don't have a law in Kentucky that protects our children from these pedophiles. If you cross the line, if you do the sexting, if you do a sexual assault, you do. But all the steps that lead up to that, we have nothing. Thanks to this young lady, we're going to. I want you all to see the face of Abby Gordon, who had the strength to stand up in court, face her accuser, and did an amazing victim statement. With her advocacy, this teacher has lost his license and will no longer be able to be she doesn't know, and the hardest thing that she's gone through, but I wanted you to see the face of who this young lady is, because you're going to see it a lot. She is going to use her voice to go out and protect all the other kids that are like her, and give them the courage to say, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid you're going to get in trouble. Don't be terrified, and please come to your house. Don't be afraid of what your friends are going to say at school. Don't be afraid of what they might think of you at church. This family has kept it very private. This has been a very difficult time, but they're here tonight to stand up if this is their turning point to protect all the others. So thank you very much. They're going to be here. They've got their whole vast family here. I welcome you to come talk to them, talk to Abby. We have some information over there on the table, some ribbons. Please get involved. Please get involved to help this cause. The next thing, you guys know, I have not forgotten in all this rumors, and it has been seen a lot of time, but you know I'm bringing the CON bills. Because we got to protect our quality of life. And I'm sorry, I don't know where monopoly ever brings affordability, accessibility, and better quality. Because all I know about monopoly is what I learned in school before they taught all this perverted stuff. It's economics, and that just doesn't make sense. So we will be working with certificate, and I'm really excited that Representative Nemus is really partnering with me on this, as well as most of my colleagues, most of them in Northern Kentucky. So we know who to put the heat on. And then finally, the third thing is protection of property. You guys know I've been very vocal about that. And I gotta say, we got some wins. So some of my friends from Frogtown Road are here. Yeah, thank you guys. So unless you've been living underneath a rock, you know that Frogtown Road's been an issue where we want to, there's been this plan to take 14 to 44 homes, blaze it, take a Korean War veteran's home and put up a 10-foot sidewalk. So, we're not really in favor of that. So with their efforts, the organization efforts, this is grassroots. This is all grassroots. This is how it works. And I think the people that have been pushing for this have finally conceded defeat. So congratulations to you all in Frogtown. I will be working with Representative Roberts on eminent domain reform. We have to do something. You shouldn't just be able to take a house for willy-nilly just because. So Roberts is leading a charge on that, and if you know TJ, it's probably going to happen. The other thing we want to keep working on, I didn't finish all of what I wanted with the squatters. We still don't have the protections that we want for leases, fraudulent leases, but hopefully we can get that through this session. So those are some of the things that I'll be working on. There'll probably be others, but those are the 3 pillars. Those are the ones on the hills that I'm going to die on. So my question is to you, what's your turning point? What is it? It might be your money, and I hope it is tonight. I hope it brings some money tonight. It might be your time. It's hard to give up time. Can you give up time to work on some of these campaigns, to knock doors, to write postcards, to make some phone calls? It's sacrificial, and I can't help but think of Brett. He already works a full-time job, or a full-time corporate job. He does a whole lot to support my campaign. And now he's the newly elected chair of the Boone County Republican Party. It takes a lot of time. So it might cost you money, it might cost you time, it may cost you your job. Dr. Amy Jashira, where are you at? You stand up, please. To make a long story short, Dr. Shara had the courage to question the efficacy and the safety of the COVID vax when she was working at St. E's. Yeah. stood up and she did the right thing, was looking out for her patients and just asked questions. And remember, during COVID, we were silent, we couldn't say anything. Amy had the courage to stand strong, even when it cost her her job. And then to add insult to injury, St. E slapped her with a 1-year non-compete.
Oh.
I know, it's terrible. But Amy, if you guys are looking for a physician who doesn't want to push pills, but wants to push wellness, that is a restorative, she's got more credentials. She was telling me her credentials, like Amy, I'm gonna blow it on that. But she has internal medicine, functional medicine, she's a restorative kind of doctor. If that's the kind of doctor you want, you need to go meet with Dr. Amy Teixeira, because she cares, and you know that she's a principled woman that was willing to lose her job versus bending the knee to pressure. That was hard to do during that time, so it may cost you that, and in the case of Charlie Kirk, it may cost you your life. Let's hope not, but it may. So, in closing, I want you to think about, what is your turning point? How are we going to continue to carry on and continue to be the grassroots that we are in Boone County? This is a fantastic county. I am so blessed to live here and work with so many great elected officials that we work collaboratively. Jordan has been just a rock star in really getting this rumors bill. And Chairman Lewis has been a great collaborative effort. So I am thankful for all of you in the county who have worked so closely with me. So thank you very much. So consider what your turning point is for you. And then in May, I'm going to need your vote. And then probably again in November. So I'm asking for your vote. These are the values that you support, the vision that you share. I'm asking for your support. So thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. I appreciate all of you being here and of your time. Thank you so much.